Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here. And today is it's still Thursday, but I'm hoping you'll see this on Thursday, but you may only see it on Friday, depends on how well it uploads. But right after I did my Thrifty Thursday video, I decided I was going to just turn on the camera and fly by the seat off my pants and just make stuff to get rid of this big pile that's over here. I showed it to you in yesterday's video. So I'm just going to pull something out and do something with it. And it'll be mostly just to glue it or at least come up with a plan for it. I don't have a cutter on the table. I don't have my sewing machine handy. I'm just using the tools I have handy with me, and that's a glue stick. And I do have a hot glue gun, and it's on. And I have my wet glue here as well. And I'm just going to build a few things. Now I'm going to give myself about 30 minutes and we'll see where it takes us from there. And I don't know if this is something you want to watch me do or not, but I'm going to get started. 30 minutes goes pretty fast. So in my last video, in the Thrifty Thursday video, I had this piece of paper that I took out of the book that I bought, and it had some scribbles on it. So I'm going to use this partly as background paper, but I kind of dug into the pile a little bit, and I had this folder thing. I don't know where it came from. Maybe somebody gave it to me. I have no idea. It opens up. It's got a couple of pages here that you can, I don't do flippies, so I don't know where it came from. Anyway, I just thought I would put a little booklet in here. So since I have this paper, that seems like the perfect thing for me to do. It is 3 inches. So if I make it 2.5 inches, and then so that would be 5 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. Well, I guess they cut it out of a 6-inch paper. So if I make it 5 inches by 5.5, I'm just going to quickly tear some paper here. No real 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cut it about there, I think. Yeah, there's no room on this desk. My tea is still here. And it's cold. Now I said I need about 5 inches, so I'm just gonna trim this down. Okay, so if I fold this in half, I have 1 page to go in here. Okay, now I've got some brown paper bag on the table. And again, I'm just going to cut a piece that's approximately 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about there. Oh, I guess 5.5. Okay, I'll just move it over a little bit. Back in the hole, and just line this up. Okay. All right, I can stick that in there. Now that's a little bit big. It still fits okay. I think I should probably do this outside of the book. Maybe I'll just trim this down a little bit. I don't care if the edges are trimmed by tearing or with scissors. I'm just seeing what happens. Okay, that's going to fit now. And there should be something else in this pile. I've got this graph paper. Yeah, I think I can do that. And hopefully that'll be the right size. stick that in there. Where's that other one? Keep putting it in there. I don't think we need to put that in there. So that's 3 pages. There must be something else here I can use. No. Yeah, this is strange. Okay, oh, here's a piece of paper I can use. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. So it's way too big. So I'm just gonna. I needed about 5 inches. Okay, this looks like it's been cut off of something. This is just some scrap paper that, I don't know, I think I bought a package of stuff and this came in it. It's been sitting on my desk for a while. So that's 4 pages. That looks okay. And 1 more. We're about to go down. Oh, I have this book page that's got a rose on it. I'm just going to cut that in half. And then fold it. And I think I'll stick it there to break up that color a little bit. And I got enough of it sticking out on the outside edge. So I'm going to call that done. I'm going to stick it in this book and stitch it in on the sewing machine really quickly off camera. I will do that. And it'll be good to go. I might find one more little piece to put inside here, but I'll wait till we go along and find something. Done. Okay, so back to this empty page, and I've got this. Oh, look at this. Okay, I got a postcard here. It's from 1989. It has a nice ship on it. I would use it, except it's got this big ugly crack in there. So I think what I'll do is I'll just turn this into a quick journal card. I also have, oh, look at that. I've got a nice piece of green paper. I think that would go nicely on the front. Okay, no real measurements required on this. I'm just going to, where'd my ruler go? Trim this down. And trim this down. I don't know that I really want the postcard information on there, so I'm just going to make a small, because I want people to still know that it was a postcard and that it's been repurposed, and I think I want to keep that stamp showing. So I'm going to cut a piece of paper here off of this that was left over. Yeah, and I'm going to cut it this way or tear it this way. So that's what I'm going to glue on the back, so you can still see the postcard in the background. And then we'll work on the front from there. Okay, so my glue pad is here. Now everything I do is going to still be sewn or glued better off camera, but at least it'll be done, and I can spend a few minutes after the video's over and do all this and follow up tomorrow, which is the plan. I'm going to follow up and show you that it got done. So I'm first just going to glue around and glue this background on. So this will be the back of the journal page. And just for fun, because I have my ink pad, or an ink pad right here, I wonder how long it'll take me to get through this pile if I just continue to do this. Now, I don't necessarily have the ink in here that was the original ink from this ink pad, but I'm just going to quickly ink around the edges here. I think I will do a few other little things to this on the back side too, depending on what I find in the pile. Yeah, when I'm using my ink pads, I don't guarantee that the ink I'm using is the color that's on the pad. I often will mix them back and forth. So now I'm going to just take this image, or this book page that's in green. I dyed these with paint mixed in water. And all I did was I put a few drizzles of paint in the water and mixed it up so it was like a milky color. And then I just dipped my papers into the paint. It gives it kind of a mottled look to the color, and I really like it. All right. Now I always use the cap of my glue stick to press everything into place and to squish out any glue that might be excess. And I will stitch all the way around here. I could either use a zigzag stitch or a messy stitch idea. And then I'm going to take that other rose that was on that sheet, and I think I'll add it here. So I'm just going to manually tear it out. I don't want all of this background here, this blank background. Now this was just a rose that I printed on a book page. And it just happened to be the same color background as this book page, so that's pretty cool. Okay. I do throw stuff out. Okay, I see a little bit of white there, so I'm going to just take that off as well. I do like to tear this off by hand sometimes, especially when it's just a small sliver like this. It's too hard to try and tear it with the ruler. And I do like the random torn look. Now, I'm not going to ink the edges on this because I'm just going to let it blend itself into the background. But I think that looks pretty good. But now it looks like too much, doesn't it? Okay, take away the white background so we can turn around and put a white background right behind it. No, not liking that either. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how well I'm going to do in this department. I'm not Gail, that's for sure. Gail can work on projects and it doesn't look, it looks so natural when she's doing it. Nope, don't like that. Don't like that. You can see I have a lot of paper in this pile, huh? No. Okay, this one is going to sit underneath until we find something that matches it better. Let's move on. I don't want to keep you guys sitting here waiting for me to finish something. Okay, so next in this pile, I do have this this is another piece of that book jacket or book cover that I had called The Green Years. So I think I'm going to use this to make a tag. I love the the term the green years, so maybe we'll find something that can go with it in green. But now I need a tag base. There must be something here I can use. Told you things were going to start falling over. Oh, here we go. This could be used as a tag base. It's an index card of sorts with a little tab here. I could actually even leave that and just incorporate that into the collage. Now, it is 7 inches high, so it will fit into a book. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to first tear this off, because maybe I can use part of it. And I know you're probably looking at this going, that's really scrappy, but sometimes these little things make such a difference as far as a focal point or just a pop of color on something you're working on. So I'm going to start with, I want the green years definitely in the book. I can probably just get it in and then have this tuck under. But because it doesn't completely cover, I think what I'll do is I'll use that same green paper. Okay, I'm just going to glue it down to the base first. And I do see another sheet of that paper sticking in here. But I also see this. Oh, it's not the right color. Okay, so I'm going to continue to add this paper. Now, I don't care if it overlaps or if the writing isn't, or the font isn't going in the right direction. It's just to get it basically a little bit covered so that when I put this paper on, you don't see a background. So I'm going a little over the edges so that I can cut it off. And there's another strip here. Oh, I don't really have to do that because of the inside. Okay, I never said I was good at doing this stuff, so you guys got to bear with me. And if it's the worst thing that you ever watched, then please tell me. Please be honest. And I won't do these anymore. I just thought if I did this on camera, I would be forced to get things off my desk because you would be holding me accountable to get this done. Okay, I think that'll work. Now, I really don't have to tear off this bottom piece, but I'm just doing it so that there's less bulk on the card. And again, my gluing isn't going to be perfect because I am planning to sew these cards, so I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my scissors that are here on the table somewhere and trim away the excess. And I will do a fine tuning of trimming after. I just want to see the outside edges of the of the card. Okay, so that's how it is sitting right now, and it does have the tab, even though the writing is going 2 different directions. It really doesn't matter, because now I'm going to put this on here, and I don't need all of this on the top. There's quite a large margin here, and it's also very torn, so I'm just going to tear around it because I do want the title. And I want to go right down to the edge of the printing and be able to have this show up on the tag on the bottom, all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to tear that off as well, because it just says continued on the back flap, which is not going to be. I don't know where the rest of it went. I know I used some of it in my collage book. Okay, so that's fitting not too bad. Just going to take off this little bit here. Okay, so that looks like it's fitting pretty good. All right, let's glue it down. I guess I should be working on a neutral background, right? So that you can see what I'm doing. But there really isn't a lot of room here. There's so much stuff on my desk that if I just knock it a little bit, things are going to start falling off. And I had to move my garbage can so that things wouldn't fall into my garbage can, because I've done that a few times now. Where I'm fishing through the garbage because I heard something fall in, and I didn't know what it was that fell in, and then I ended up having to go through the whole garbage to get to the bottom, especially if it's like a pair of scissors or something. So yes, it's happened a few times to me. So there, I'm going to just slide that in place. All right, now I've got this little piece of green, and I would like to add it in here. I don't want very much. I'm just using it sort of as a faux washi. I'm going to tear off all this rough edge, and I will send those to the garbage. And just so you know, I have a garbage that is just for paper, and then it goes to the recycling. And then I have a separate garbage for things that don't go in the recycling, which isn't very much down here. Okay, I think that's doable. Don't want to take away from the print itself. I want people to be able to read it. I think I'll just take that little piece off together. So I'm adding that in. Moment of silence again, sorry. And I've just glued that down. So it just, it's shabby, and that is the whole point, is to repurpose and reuse. And I'm going to keep adding things onto here as I come across them through the pile here. But for now, I think I'll just leave it like that. I would like to probably add some fibers or something on here. I've got some here. Maybe I'll put it in the pile with it. I've got some green fiber. So I wouldn't mind adding something like that onto the tab with maybe some fabric in the background, which I have a piece here. This is getting interesting. Okay, I can use a little piece of that. So these are things that I will do on my sewing machine after. but I will leave this on in the pile now and say to be continued. So that's going with the other two that are here. They're not going to be finished. I'm not Gail. You know, she amazes me that she can all of a sudden at the end show you 10 things that she's done. Another one that works like that is Roxy Creations. But everything I have is out of arm's length, except for the pile of stuff that's on my desk. So I try to force myself to get up and move around constantly, so I'm not just sitting here. So this is how you will see it, and on Follow-Up Friday is when I will show you the results when they're all done. But this is a good start. Okay, I just found a piece of cheesecloth in the pile here. This is what I mean. I'm so disorganized lately. I don't know why. Okay, one is pink and one is cream colored. I wonder if this would help to break up that rose card. Okay, I think I'm going to just put these up on the top for now. And then when we get further up, I'll show you everything. Okay, let's have a quick look. This is the pink. How's that looking? Well, it's not bad, but I don't know. I think I need something more pink underneath there. Okay, it'll just sit in the pile. We'll come back to the cheesecloth after. All right, next in the pile, I've got this burgundy piece of cardstock. I don't know. I don't think I'm good at this. Okay. I've got, these are reproductions of some artist trading cards that I did years ago. And what I had done is when I made a new artist trading card, I took a photograph of it and then printed it out on paper. And I kept a little catalog for myself of the cards that I made. Well, I kind of got tired of that idea, and since the originals were gone, I figured, you know, I have to just let it go. They're gone. I'm not going to make the exact same card. I'm not going to reproduce it. So I figured, well, I might as well just use these images in things that I'm working on and just let it go that way. And worst case scenario, they are photos on my computer, so I could print them again if I really wanted to, but they weren't really meant to be like to use in collage. But now I just saw that this is a nice combination here together with this. So I'm going to just glue this down. And in case you are wondering, I do have a whole stack of these here. And I've just been trying to use them up just to get them off my desk. So this is a perfect opportunity to do that. Okay, so I like that, but this has got a lot of white on the edge. It's a thicker cardstock. See, I used to keep track of when I made them. These were made in 2005. Can you believe it? That's almost, it's 18 years. So you know I've been doing this a long time. I started making artist trading cards in, I think it was 1995. Was the first artist trading card I made. And I started selling them in 2003. And before 2005, I didn't have a digital camera. So when I sold cards, it was the old-fashioned way of taking a picture and then sending them out. And then somehow, you know, things changed and some of these pictures went by the wayside, and I have no idea where my cards went and what they look like. I have my very first card. I still have my very first artist trading card that I made. But the rest of them, there are images I have no idea where they went and what I did. So for about 2 years of trading cards and selling cards, I have no idea. But these were mostly traded back in the day until we had the digital camera and we could post them on eBay or Etsy. Well, at the time it was eBay. So I've just folded this little card in half. I think I'll use this side and glue this down. So I've got like a little journaling card. It's white on the inside. I could add some other stuff to it and embellish this a little further yet, but for now I'm just going to get it glued down. As I mentioned, I don't have anything on my table to really work with other than the basic glues and stuff. So that's all I'm doing right now. My glue kind of exploded a little bit here, but the idea is to start getting this stuff off the table. And this all comes from unpacking a little bit, and you know, I unpacked a box and it was full of file folders, and I just went through one file folder, and this is the stuff that was in it. And then what happens too is, you know, I'll be working on something and a little piece of paper gets left down here, and that goes in the pile, and then the next thing it just gets out of hand. And I've got different file folders of stuff, and that's where these came from, was all these cards. And as I find these things, I'm putting it in the pile to use it up and get it done and over with. But I have lots of that stuff, so I just have a little bit of glue there. And no tissue handy. With all those napkins I worked on, you'd think I would have a tissue handy. But no. Okay, so that's just going to sit like that until the next step. And I'm guessing I'm going to probably put some lace trim and maybe embellish with a little bit of fabric or flu fibers and stuff, just to enhance it a little bit more. But otherwise, I like it the way it is as a plain card. I don't know that I like the white along the edges, so I think I'll just give it a dusting to cover up the white with a little bit of ink. But I don't really want to go on to the inside until I know if I'm going to do anything further with it. I really like it just the way it is. And it's a cute little card that you can just tuck into a pocket or a side tuck somewhere. So yeah, maybe just a little bit of embellishing on the sides with some lace. I've got some trim here just to show you. Again, I will do this off camera if I use this. Something very simple. And, you know, maybe a label. Now the labels, I just happen to have a long strip of paper earlier today that I just cut into small pieces and made into labels. So maybe that would be something that would go, yeah, I like that. Okay, let's do it. And maybe a little bit of this cheesecloth underneath. Let's just take a peek. I don't want very much. Let me pull some of those threads out. Let it hang over the edge a little bit. You probably can't see that, so I'm just going to move this over a little bit over the edge. Now I'm going to take my little label and I'm going to ink it up. I don't want much because it'll depend on what I decide to put on afterwards. Maybe I'll put a word on there. So this kind of ephemera will just sit in my ephemera boxes, and when I do actually use it, I will enhance it further. Now in the image there are some little gold charms. I don't know if you can see that in there. So I think what I'll do is go to my charm box and see if I can find that same one and dig it out and apply it on the outside as well. So those are things that I would do when I get closer to actually using it. I don't want to waste and put charms on stuff if I'm not going to use it. So I tend to do the basics, and it's just that much faster when I want to put together something. Okay, this will take a couple of seconds to adhere. because I have the cheesecloth underneath, but it's not too bad. I kind of like this. So there you go. So that one's sort of done. And we got to use some cheesecloth, not much, but I did get a label off my desk. At this rate, I think I have a few months of stuff to do. Okay. Got any ideas? I see this sticking out of the pile. Oh, this came off of something. This is some kind of packaging. Okay. I don't know. Well, I can take this piece of paper. We'll come back to that one. And take this piece of paper. Fold this. And this will go inside as a little writing space. Yeah, that works. Ink up the edges on this, just ever so lightly. Now my stapler won't go through. This isn't, I don't have a long enough stapler handy, so I'll just either stitch or glue this in. But just leave it just stitched or glued in enough to hold the paper itself. But I think I'll just leave it like that. So the stitching, as I said, comes after, but I do have this paper on here, and that's a pretty good match. So another label will go on here. I'm just going to trim the corners. Ink up the edges. Good old labels, eh? Once you have a label, you're pretty much good to go. Actually, I just saw something else here. I wonder if this would work. Too big. Okay, let's keep it simple. I'm just going to glue this on with some glue stick. And possibly enhance it a little further after. We'll see what we can come up with. But that's all stuff that I have to do off camera. Okay, so it will have a little folded paper inside. Maybe there'll be another paper that I can use, but that's going in the pile. How am I doing for time? I'm already 39 minutes in. How can that possibly be? I haven't done anything here. I've got a month's worth of work here. Okay, I did make this tag, and it's too big. So I'm going to take it to the cutter off screen, and I will cut it in half. There's that one. And then the next one, I saw that there was two of them in the pile here. Yes, there is another one. So this one was, again, too big for it's too big for a belly band. It's too big for a tag. So I'm just going to cut it in half and make it into two. And Jennifer, if you're watching, this is that Woods of Windsor paper. This is the same drawer liners that the same company that you have yours from, in case you're watching. So that's it for my video for today, because by the time I finish up here and get this done, my day is over. So I have 2 that I'm going to cut into tags. These were done. It's just I'm going to cut them now and finish them. I have this little journaling card with a little piece of red paper inside that for writing on. That's done. I have this journaling card made with that piece of cardstock, added the picture and the label, and will enhance it a little bit further. This one I'm stuck on, but I will keep at it and figure this out. The back side is done. This was the postcard that was cracked. I'm probably going to do some stuff around the edges here, maybe add a little bit more of this green paper on the back side, because I think there's still a half a sheet there. And so this one I'll have to come back to. Then I have this little notebook, and it's got papers inside, and I will stitch that and then embellish it a little bit further. And then I have this larger tag here that I will use as a pull-out tag in a journal. So I'm going to embellish the tab and then see what I can come up with. Let's just do one quick look through the images. I've got this one. That could work. Because the more of these I can get off my desk, the better too. Oh, let's see. I could use her, the green years. I like that. That would work nicely. Yeah, I think that's the one. Okay, I will finish up further with this off camera and show you on Friday, tomorrow. Hopefully it is tomorrow or later in the day if that's the case. So yeah, I'll keep going, and I might work on a little bit more stuff and show you the results tomorrow. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.